welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. If we have not met before, I'm Kat. I'm an English girl who moved to Australia at the start of 2021. I live in Perth and I make travel videos and videos sort of explaining how you move here, especially during a pandemic, things like that. So if that's the sort of content that you enjoy watching, please do subscribe and keep watching for more. Since we have had what must be the longest, most miserable winter ever, not what I expected when I moved here, I have got the itchiest feet to travel and explore and have adventures over this new state that I call home. So I thought I would put on the record my sort of 10 bucket list places that I just have to visit in Western Australia whilst I live here. Obviously at the time of filming, it is middle of the pandemic. Western Australia's borders are pretty much slammed shut. So I guess this video is for you if you are living in Western Australia and kind of want to have a bit of inspo on where to travel to. Or maybe you are looking to move here. If you've managed to sort of get your way into the state, then maybe you want to travel around and explore as well, or just places to put on your own list for whenever these borders do open up. And I think it really shows what an amazing place Western Australia is. I honestly didn't have a clue that it was this amazing before we moved here. I really didn't know what there was. I knew that it was a big state, but I didn't know how much of a variety of different landscapes and things that there are here and different things that there are to see. So without further ado, let's get on with these top 10 bucket list places to travel to in Western Australia. Okay, first up we have Esperance, which is south of Western Australia. It's right on the south coast, and this is the most gorgeous place. It's so picturesque, and I think what you think of when you think of like an Australian beach, it is white sands, crystal blue waters, kangaroos on the beach. It is just absolutely stunning, and I can't wait to travel here at some point for just a proper chill on the beach, just get a stack of books, completely chill out in the most glorious, dreamy place that I can actually imagine. Also within Esperance there is a pink lake, which is really popular. I think these pink lakes are so cool. Obviously photo opportunities, getting your drone out, they are just the dream. And next up we have Exmouth, which is north of Perth. Excitingly, I've actually booked a trip here for October, which I'm so excited for. And this is a really cool kind of a peninsula, so you can travel all around it. Exmouth has a real variety of different things on offer. So it's got a reef, there's an Ingaloo reef there, which is amazing for snorkeling. You've got the most amazing marine life out there, you name it. They've got manta rays there, they have whale sharks, and between the months of August and November, they also have humpback whales, which are travelling up from the Antarctic north for their mating and calving. So you actually have the opportunity to see whales there. They do boat trips. We're actually going on a sunset whale watching boat trip, so fingers crossed we see some whales. That would be absolutely sensational. But then for a complete contrast, you're also right by Cape Range National Park. So for your more rugged landscapes, for your creeks, for your canyons, there is just such amazing landscapes to offer. There's hiking that you can do, you can go kayaking through the creeks. So it's probably no wonder that Exmouth is proving an extremely popular spot for Perthians to travel to, especially considering that they cannot travel outside of WA. So the next one is Margaret River, which is an amazing region. It is probably best known for its wine, so there's an absolute ton of wineries there. We've travelled there earlier this year, but we did actually go on the cusp of autumn winter, and the weather was miserable. So there was one place in particular that I wanted to put on this list, which is Hamelin Bay, which I am desperate to go to as soon as summer properly hits and we are rid of all of this rain. I really want to travel to Hamelin Bay. In Perth standards, it's actually pretty close. It's only about a 3.5 hour drive away. So feasibly we could go there for a long weekend, which I am hoping to do at some point, maybe close to Christmas potentially. Hamelin Bay is home to the most humongous stingrays, but they're super friendly and you can swim with them and it just looks amazing. I will insert some footage here because we actually travelled there. It was in, I think, May this year, and there was no chance of seeing a single stingray. The weather was horrific. So yeah, definitely want to go see the true Hamelin Bay with its crystal clear waters, swim with some stingrays, go to a winery afterwards, maybe some caves, because there's loads of caves around there. It's a really cool region. I just need it to stop raining. Another spot that I would really love to travel to is Karrajini National Park. It is actually the second largest national park in Western Australia and it just looks absolutely beautiful. It is the perfect hiking spot. There are loads of gorges, waterfalls, you can go swimming in freshwater pools. It looks beautiful. There is Karrajini Eco Retreat, which is a glamping park which looks absolutely amazing to go and kind of get the feel of camping, but you've still got, you know, your home comforts. Karrajini is pretty far away. It's a 14.5 hour drive from Perth. However, it is way up north in the sort of Exmouth region. It's another one that would be really good for, you know, a sort of 3-4 week road trip, longer if you can. That would be my absolute dream, is to, you know, take 6 months off, go travelling slowly up there and go, you could do Exmouth and then you could go over to Karrajini whilst you're in that sort of area of the world. Would be absolutely amazing. Another absolute must for Western Australia is seeing wildflower season. So come spring, everything comes to life. It looks a completely different place between spring, summer, autumn, winter. Every season the whole state looks completely different. Obviously I've only really seen Australia in summer, where everything is quite barren and dry because of the heat, and especially with the winter that we have had, where it has rained and rained and rained. I was so surprised by how green everything looks now and how beautiful everywhere looks in spring. So there's wildflowers all over and they are just so beautiful. So you could travel a couple of hours away to Colseam Conservation Park, where there are just blankets of fields of wildflowers, which are just beautiful. Or you could go slightly closer to home. So there's some national parks such as John Forest National Park, which has them, and even closer to home, so you don't have to travel far at all, is Kings Park, which is a botanical park. It's beautiful at any time of year. But wildflower season in spring is stunning there. They also have blankets of them and there was just such a nice family vibe there as well. It was gorgeous. Following on from seasonal flower displays, there is Jacaranda season in Perth, which I am so excited for, like more excited than you should be for a bit of blossom on some trees. But we were hoping to have got out here for Jacaranda season last year, so I think that's really built it up in my head that I've had to wait one extra year. It's from sort of mid-October to mid-November, and it is when these particular trees, the Jacaranda trees, blossom, and they have the most stunning lilac purple haze of blossom. And there's a few streets in Perth where they are just lined with these Jacaranda trees. I know Applecross has them, Highgate has them, I believe Inglewood there's some in East Perth. So in little neighbourhoods dotted around, you will see these streets of purple, just beautifulness. And I cannot wait. We've got about a month and a half to go. Not even that long actually, yeah, about a month. Or a couple of weeks it might start popping through, and you betcha I'm gonna get my drone flying down those streets and get a purple frock on and twizzle around in the blossom, and I can't wait. Okay, I seem to be having a bit of a botanical planty theme here because my next one is just a couple of cactuses in Carnarvon. So this is another stop which I think would be really good to do on a road trip from Perth up to Exmouth and over to Karrajini. There's so many places. I think in general that road trip is one of my bucket list items, but I didn't want to just have this bucket list being 10 places on the trip up there, because it's sort of a, as I said before, 3 to 4 week road trip that you would probably do to fit everything in. But this is a really cool stop. Apparently it's just on the side of the street. It's actually I think it's a farm shop's front garden, just full of cool cactuses, and I just want to go stand in there, have a photo, have a few photos, do a bit of videography through there. I think it looks super cool, and I've never really seen anything like it. It kind of looks like you're in the middle of the desert or in a film set. It's really cool. Okay, one of my ultimate dream places, it looks like the most glorious, heavenly place I have ever seen before, is Cocos Islands, which is not actually part of, you know, the state of Western Australia. However, having Googled it, it is. The Cocos Islands remain constitutionally distinct from Western Australia. However, the power of the state to legislate for the territory is a power delegated by the federal government. Don't know what that means. However, crucially, within COVID, Western Australians have been able to travel over to the Cocos Islands. Obviously, that depends on the borders at the time, and I believe as COVID tests required and things like that. However, that is amazing to have that option available to you. And they are the most beautiful, secluded islands. There's 27 islands, only 2 are inhabited. And you can travel out to the different islands. They are the most gorgeous beaches. I think this would be another proper chill holiday. I get kind of Bali vibes from it. Really beautiful white beaches, blue waters, palm trees. You can just chill on the beach. You can go snorkeling, you can go diving, you can go kayaking, you can go cycling through the little like areas. It just looks the most dreamy place, and as soon as I can get there, I will. And finally, this might seem a strange one, and I think it's one of those where you either get it or you don't. So this is Hutt Lagoon in Port Gregory. Again, another one on the road trip that you may do from Perth to Exmouth, and you probably wouldn't travel just for this, but I had to put this in there because this was the actual reason I bought my drone, because I thought if I live in Western Australia and I go to all of these amazing places and I do not have a drone, I will kick myself. So Hutt Lagoon is a marine salt lake in the Gregory region. It's north of Perth, and crucially, it's pink. That's why it's in here, it's pink. But there are also these amazing farms which are just, honestly, an aerial photographer's absolute dream. So these farms actually farm microalgae from which beta-carotene is extracted, and that is used for food colouring and vitamin A derivatives. So that aside, I mean, that's where the colour comes from, but it is just stunning. Obviously, you'll be able to see photos on screen now. I just think that that is something that, where else do you see that? Apart from I think the only other place that I can think of, there's probably loads, but I know New Zealand has all of the sulphur lakes and things like that, and it reminds me of that. But just, I really like how like regimented and almost geometrical it is. It's so cool. So yeah, I cannot wait to get out there and see that and see the pink lakes as well. The pink lakes, you can also like, you can kind of float in them. I know people do to get their really cool Insta shots. I think it can be a bit irritating to your skin, so at your own risk. But I think for the Insta shot, maybe I could deal with a little bit of dermatitis. Who knows, who's to say? So there you go, that was my top 10 bucket list places to go and things to see within the Western Australia region. I would absolutely love to hear from you, so please do let me know in the comments section down below where you have travelled, where I've missed off. I'm certain that I have missed off. I could probably have gone on to like the top 30 or so, but I thought I would keep this quick and snippy. So let me know, where do I need to travel to? Where is a place on my list that you don't think is worth going to, or places that you think 10 out of 10, make that your next trip? Thank you so much for watching, and as I say, please subscribe for more content like this. Comment below what other types of videos you would love to see. Really enjoy making these videos for you, so I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Goodbye.